My mission is to impact the hearts and minds of women, helping them change their stories and empowering them to love themselves, their bodies, and their lives. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Change Your Story podcast. I'm Hannah Dawson, your host and transformation coach. I'm a certified personal trainer, nutritionist, mindset coach, writer, speaker, and creator of the Fit Club Babes app, and I am here to help you transform your life. While I love teaching all things nutrition and fitness, and trust me, you'll get lots of that on here, my true passion lies in the power of mindset and self-relationship. I know firsthand how powerful a mindset shift can be. It has profoundly impacted not only my health and fitness journey, but also my relationship with myself, and it can do the same for you too. Many women believe as we age, we lose our beauty, body, and health, but that's not true. You can feel and look amazing and get better with age, and I'm going to show you how. Are you ready to change your story? Let's flip the script one thought at a time. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Change Your Story podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you in your ears today. My only ask before we get into this episode, that is, if you really enjoy this content, if this content helps you, please go and leave me a rating or a review or both. It's just at the homepage of my podcast show. You scroll all the way to the bottom on the Apple site and you can leave a star, you could leave a review, or you could do both. On Spotify, again, you're able to rate it as well. And I totally would appreciate that. It helps this podcast get found. You guys, without further ado, let's get into this episode today. We are starting a brand new series, and it's a hot topic right now. It's fat loss. There's so many myths and things around this. It's, like I said, it's just a hot topic, and there's just so much confusion. And so my goal with this series for you is really to clear the confusion. So we have 6 episodes in the series. Today we are really talking about, does weight loss equal health? And most times it doesn't equal health unless you are clinically obese and need that weight to come off. Chasing a smaller number on the scale doesn't guarantee what you think that it's going to, that you want it to do. Oh gosh, I'm tongue-tied. Losing weight isn't going to guarantee that you get the look that you want, that you get the health that you want. And we have to really get away from this mindset of weight loss. So throughout this whole thing, we are going to do a no BS breakdown, clear the confusion, and finally help you make real lasting changes. So if you are ready, we are going to dive right into it. So this episode really started out from a consultation that I had with a woman who had recently undergone gastric bypass surgery. Now, I have had lots of women, probably I would say a handful or even a little bit more of women that I have worked with that have had this surgery. Now, disclaimer, this is not to shame. This is not to make anybody feel like they made a bad decision or whatever. It's not a good or bad decision, okay? I am just wanting to give you insight and tools to help you better understand if your decision is the right one, or if you've made the decision, the steps that you need to take. And so I had an interview, a consultation with this woman because she had recently had this done and she felt lost, like most women, and not even with like having a surgery, but I feel like most women feel lost once they lose the weight. Have you ever been there? You lost the weight and then you were so afraid to gain it back. You didn't really know how you lost the weight. You didn't know what to do after you lost the weight. And then all of a sudden you gain all the weight back. And here's the scary thing is most of the women that I have worked with that have had the surgery gain all of the weight back plus more. And so they've lost initial weight. They've lost tons of muscle because what it happens is you get your stomach stapled, I believe. I'd be saying that wrong, or part of it cut out and then sewn up so it's smaller. So you can't consume a lot of food. You can only consume small amounts. So the maximum amount of calories that she could have a day, and most people that have the surgery can have a day, is 800 calories. That's the maximum. Okay, so if you're wanting your weight to go down fast, it's going to, because you are eating less than your resting metabolic rate. So there's a certain amount of calories that your body needs to keep the lights on, and not even just calories. You actually have nutrients within those calories that your body needs. And the minimum for women is anywhere between 1,100 to 1,400, depending your weight and depending how much muscle mass you have on your body. And so those calories are just to keep your heart beating, to help you fight off to keep your immune system strong, to help you think and function properly. And so that's really why I really wanted to talk about this, because I think that women, think that they need to eat a 1,200 calorie diet to lose weight, but that's just what you need just to lie on the couch and be a couch potato. And so she lost 85 pounds. Amazing. It was amazing. But here she can't eat very much. She doesn't have any energy. She was telling me, I'm just so exhausted and I can barely get through the day. She had no real workout routine. She would do sometimes fitness classes or YouTube videos. I did a whole series on my YouTube about program hopping. There's just no structure, consistency. And she hadn't been doing anything previously towards that. And again, she can't eat a lot of food, just like lots of liquids, lots of nothing. There wasn't a lot of anything, just very minimal. And so, when she said to me, one thing that she said is, Hannah, I'm just so squishy. Like there's no muscle. I've lost all this weight. She weighs less than me. I think we're pretty close in the same height, less than me, but there's no muscle at all. And so when we see in her health markers, her body fat was still categorized as obese. So anything over 35 is a red flag for health markers. And so why I want to share this is, ladies, sometimes we get so obsessed with the scale going down that we don't realize it's not the scale that we have to think about. It's actually body composition. You actually want to change the body composition. And so that the body composition can only be changed healthy, like when you want a healthy body composition. Right now, if you have I believe her muscle was only at 50 pounds out of her whole body weight, and her fat percentage was higher, even though she lost all that weight. So that was a first red flag for me as a coach. I'm like, okay, this weight may have came off, but it's all muscle. And now we are left with still a high body fat percentage. She can't eat a lot, so she can't speed up her metabolism to support even just keeping the lights on. And what's really important to understand, ladies, is like, we're not just talking about your skeletal muscle, so to speak, like the biceps and glutes. We're talking your diaphragm is a muscle. We're talking about the muscles that go inside the heart, the lungs, like those are muscles too. And so if we can't get enough to help that function, then we've just set ourselves up to be a ticking time bomb for illnesses, for diseases within ourselves and within our body, for the for the old age statistics. You just increase your chances of osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, breaking bones very easily. All of those statistics, you've set yourself up for it when you haven't focused on the right health markers. And so that's why it's really important to understand body composition. And so, why this matters is, body composition is, we've now recently, people are more aware now because research has come out and people are becoming more aware that the amount of muscle you have equals your longevity and health. So you lose your muscle, you lose your health. That's important to understand. So that's why it's so important to stop focusing on the scale. The scale is still a tool, but we have to focus on that body composition. I would rather, a client lose, only 5 pounds, but put on some muscle and lose body fat percentage, because she's just increased her chance of longevity, of her health markers getting better, of strength, all of these amazing things, plus created her body composition. When your body composition improves, guess what? That's when you start looking toned and tight and lean. And those are aesthetically, what most women want, but they chase it from the scale. So it's kind of not going in the right direction. So, just because we lose tons of weight doesn't mean that we're healthy now. Yes, oh, I'm finally that favorite number that I've always wanted to be on the scale, but my fat percentage is still the same. I have no strength. I have no energy. I have no health. Now we're so focused on this thing externally, but internally, inside of us, things are not better. That's the thing. Things are not better. Our metabolism is slowed right down. It's got used to living on little calories. And guess what? Muscle is expensive. And so muscle is going to be the first thing your body gets rid of when you can't eat enough food. It's like, this shit is too expensive to keep. We're getting rid of it. We're going to actually use it for energy instead of using fat for energy, instead of using food for energy. And so now we've caused some metabolic damage to a point. This can be fixed, ladies, with food. We've created muscle loss, which has caused our metabolism to slow down. We have energy deficiency, so we don't have enough energy for the day. We can't function properly, and which puts our immune system at risk. So anytime somebody's sick, you guarantee you're probably going to get sick, because our immune system doesn't have energy. Calories are energy. Our calories are energy, and the foods that we choose have a certain amount of nutrients in them to help our body function. So now we can't have certain food groups. We can't eat certain food. So our body has no resources. Our body has no resources to help us live a high quality life. But you know what? We wanted that certain number on the scale. We wanted the scale to go down so badly. Now the scale's gone down, but also our health has gone down too. Now, quick disclaimer about this. Sometimes the weight needs to come off, yes. But we're going to go over the things that you need to do with the weight coming off. And we have to get out of this mindset of that it needs to drop off fast. The slower actually is the healthiest way. The slower, the better, because this doesn't ruin your metabolism. This doesn't slow it down. Your body doesn't go into like, I'm going to be starving, so I'm just going to slow down the energy output, and I'm going to want to increase the energy input. So nothing changes, right? Our health starts to decline. The issue with, these are extremes. So quick weight loss methods like gastric surgery, Ozempic, liquid diets, okay, those are extreme. And I'm not shaming anybody. If you've done it, you've done it. All right. If you're still on it, you're still in it. So I hope that what we talk about next will really help bring awareness, and you'll have some aha moments and go, oh, okay, maybe I've got to switch some things around, right? You have to realize that short-term results equal long-term cost, right? So when we exchange our health for instant result, we're going to have long-term health issues. So there's a right way to do it, and there's the messed up, long, hard road to do it. There's a quote that goes, if you take the easy road, your life will be hard. If you take the hard road, your life will be easy. If you do the hard things, your life will be easy. If you do the easy things, your life will be hard. And so that's just such a great thought to think about when it comes to your goals, ladies, that you can be the weight that you want to be. You can get there as fast as you want to get there. And I have told myself this before. I come from a background of disordered eating and body dysmorphia, and I've tried all of the things. Trust me, I have been tempted in moments, when I've had those low body confidence days. But this is what I have to remind myself, is that there needs to be a foundation of habit, strength, and nourishment, because if there's not, it's always going to be unsustainable. That has to always come first. There's a foundation that you have to work on first. You have to remember that it is a lifestyle. This is not something that, here's the thing. Here's what it is that you lose the weight, you think you'll be more motivated. But so you take an easy road, you take a quick fix, you do the extremes. And sometimes the extremes aren't even easy, right? They are difficult, because now you're battling a disordered mindset. You're battling this more I'm not enough, right? It's not enough, and it's never going to be enough. And here's the thing, when you don't build the foundation of habits, when you don't do the things right properly, and you go to the instant thing because you've told yourself that if I just lose the weight fast, then I'll be motivated, then I'll work out, then I'll eat healthier. Guess what? You won't. You'll just be met with a new level of distortion. You'll see yourself and you won't see what you thought you would see. You'll see that it's never enough. You're not fit enough. You don't have enough muscle. You're not pretty enough. Let me tell you, when you feed that, that's what's going to grow. And so, when we tell ourselves the lie that once we lose weight, we'll love ourselves more, that things will be easier, that's honestly, it's a lie. It's a facade. It's a mirage. And then when you get there, that's not there. That's not there to meet you. The disorder is just there to meet you. And so we have to understand, okay, so if extremes don't work, or if you're in the extreme already, or you've made that decision already, or if you're thinking about, this is what we need to do first, okay? I want to give you a map. I want to give you, I want to give you a strategy, because it's all about strategy. You've got to have a strategy. If you're unhappy with your weight, if you're unhappy with the way you look, okay, there's nothing wrong with that in the sense of you can make a choice to change that. But we want to make the choice that actually builds a foundation for something that we can live on, and not build something that is just going to default back to old habits, old patterns, yo-yoing, and roller coasters, ladies. And so this is what you need to focus on if this is you, if you're in this, if you've been thinking about this, fighting with this, is you have to build the habits first, right? We have to, build the workout routine first. This doesn't mean extreme. This doesn't mean extreme cardio. It just means okay, if body composition is very important and we want to have a better body composition, more so than the weight just dropping on the scale, all right, then we have to think about, okay, well, what would make our body composition better? Well, weight training. Weight training is not only going to help us build muscle, it's going to help us get our bones stronger. It's going to help us live life better. There's so many benefits to building muscle. It's going to build your confidence. It's going to build your energy. It's going to help with mental health. There's a study done that, weight training is 1.8 times more effective than antidepressants or therapy alone. That was a study done in Australia. At the university. I forget what university it was. So that's just something to take into consideration. So build the foundation of lifting weights. It could be 3 times a week. The next thing is you need to make sure you're eating enough protein. But we can't only focus on protein, ladies. We still need those good carbohydrates. We need fats. They do stuff. Those are little, when you give your body that, so protein is to help your muscle and not just aesthetically, okay? You have to remember, what did I say? Your heart, your diaphragm, your lungs, your, there's more muscle than just the physical muscle that you see on the outside, more than skeletal muscle, right? So protein feeds all of that. It repairs all of that. And then we have carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are not bad. I mean, there are some food is not good or bad, but there are some foods that are going to make you feel better. They're more nutrient dense. So potatoes, rice, you have vegetables, you have squashes, fruits, things like that. So making sure you're having a variety of whole foods. And then your fats are helping your hormones. So we need a certain amount of fats a day to help us ladies balance our hormones. If you're feeling whacked all the time and you're not getting the right amount of nutrients, that could be why. Also, with carbohydrates, you need at least 120 grams of carbohydrates minimum a day for your brain and your gut to produce serotonin. So that's how much you need minimum a day. And so that's why a lot of people that are on low carb diets or no carb diets, they start feeling anxious and depressed, because that's how your body produces that chemical in your brain that makes you feel happy. All right. The next thing that you need to do is hit your steps. Move more. This is really going to help create an active lifestyle for yourself. This could just mean starting with 10-minute walk a day. This could mean, parking farther away. This could mean taking the stairs instead of the elevator. This could mean going for a bike ride. Just find ways to just be more active. And setting a step goal can help with that because it's rewarding too when you hit your step goal. And this doesn't need to be drastic. If you hit 5,000 steps a day, aim for 6,000 steps a day, and so on. So trying to increase your daily activity. And then the final, but not the least, probably one of the most important, is working on your mindset, right? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you want what you want? Is what you are doing building a foundation that is going to solidify these habits and sustain you and help you grow as a person and an individual? And if the choices that you're making are not, then it's time to rethink what you're doing. So it's so important to work on our mindset, personal growth. You are listening to this podcast right now. That's helping your mindset because you are learning something that is going to bring awareness to attention that maybe you didn't think about. And so same with reading personal growth books, even going to church, listening to sermons, listening to motivational speakers. All of that helps you personally grow. Now, I want to say too, you have to apply what you learn. You can't just let it go in one ear and out the other. If something sticks out to you when you're reading or listening, write it down. That was actually for you. That's like the universe or God saying, I have a word for you. Now I want you to focus on that. So you'll know, even listening to here, whatever speaks to your heart or whatever you feel like is she speaking to me, then that's what you need to tune into that, because that's where your transformation is going to take place. And so it's important to understand, ladies, that these are disciplines that will change your body composition and your health, right? So lifting weights, eating enough protein, actually eating your macronutrients, tracking food. In the beginning, you don't have to track forever. That's another topic for another time. Move more. Set a daily step goal. Work on your mindset daily. You got to feed your mind every day. You got to renew your mind every day. You got to work on your mind every single day. And you got to rinse and repeat this every single day. And so you need to build those foundations first before you go to any of those extremes. If you haven't built this and you think that these foundations are magically going to appear in your brain and in your body after you lose the weight, I'm sorry to tell you that is a lie that you've told yourself. That's a facade, a mirage. You're lying to yourself. And so you have to build the habits first, and you have to understand that it's going to take time. Nothing that is going to be worthwhile in your life is going to come fast and easy. It may come fast and easy, but you have to be prepared that you are committed to yourself and building this healthy lifestyle for yourself. You have to be fully committed. And I also want to say too, it could happen faster than you think, right? But it could also take longer than you think. So you just have to be dedicated and be committed, and don't try to look for shortcuts. If you've done a shortcut already, if you're in a shortcut, that's fine. Make a commitment to yourself to start implementing these. Stay committed. Find a program that will help you progress and that you can commit to and you can be consistent with, even if it's 2 to 3 days a week. If you can be consistent with that over the next year and get stronger, you're going to change your body composition. If you make sure that you are eating enough throughout the day and getting protein with all your meals and getting enough fats and carbs, you are going to change your body composition. You're actually going to change your energy levels. You're going to change your mood. Life will get better. So those things are so important to understand, Final thoughts with this episode, ladies, I want to say is this isn't about shame, okay? I never want to make you feel like, oh, I made a horrible decision, or how could she talk like that? No, it is about giving you strategy, because I want to see you be successful. I want to see you have freedom to love yourself at all stages, because let me tell you, this transformation journey you're on, your body's going to go through many different transformations. I have been all different shapes and sizes, body compositions, but all while working towards loving myself. That should be the goal, is loving yourself and honoring yourself and taking care of your body and nourishing it. And if anything goes against that, you have to love yourself enough to say no, even even if it's just so tempting. I know I have been tempted. I won't lie. I'll be totally transparent with you guys. There was a time when I was just feeling so frustrated with my body and I was thinking about Ozempic. And it was a thought that went in my head. I'm like, well, all these other women are doing it. And then I replayed it. I played the tape in my head. Where is this taking you? Why do you want to do it? What's the after plan? Trust the process. So I had to play the tape in my head. I've been tempted with all sorts of things. I have tried all sorts of things. They never worked in the past. They actually just set me up and set me back like 20 times, 20-fold. It's like when you're sewing something, or what do you call it, knitting, and you have this big blanket and it's just like one pull of the string can unravel the whole thing. That's literally what it's like. So just stay focused on the goal. That's why it's so important to have community. That's why it's so important to have support, because when you have those moments, and if I have them and I'm your coach, I know you have those moments where you just feel like you wish there was something easier, something that would just take away the pain that you're feeling towards yourself, but it won't. You have to push into the pain, because you have to feel that in order to heal that. And when we're looking for a quick fix, we're trying to band-aid that wound, when our highest self is calling us to dig deep and go, I'm crying here for help. Like, let's press into self-love. Let's learn to love this part of ourselves and make choices from that place. And so final question for you ladies that I want to leave you with is, are you chasing a goal without doing the foundational work? Weight loss does not guarantee a strong, confident, capable body. Muscle does. Foundation does. Nutrition does. Healthy habits do. Working on your mindset does. Extreme solutions without long-term habits will not change your life, just your weight. So you have to ask yourself, what do I want? You guys, that is it. That is all. I would love to know your thoughts. What resonated with you most? What hit a nerve with you most? Do you have questions about this? Do you disagree with some of this? I want to know. You can send me an email, send me a DM on Instagram, or email me. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I hope that this opened your heart and your mind today. I hope that if you've been struggling in this area, you feel empowered to make better decisions. That is it. That is all. Bye for now.